Hi Scorpio, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Scorpio, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. And that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you got the Temperance card. You got a lot of healing to do this week, my dear Scorpios. And it's interesting because I heard from 3 Scorpios this week about some really intense stuff. And so seeing this as your key to the week, it rings true, right? Just from what I have experienced with the Scorpios in my life. So to see this Temperance card, it's a card of healing. This is a card of balance as well. And it's also a card of temperance, which is about finding the right elements to blend in your life and asking yourself, what is out of place, what is out of balance, what is out of whack, what do you need more of and what do you need less of. This could be a really powerful week for you figuring out the right measurements of things. All right, so what do you need in order to heal? What is it that you really do need to put more time, effort and energy into in order to get the best out of yourself? And this isn't about doing or being anything for anyone else. It's about figuring out what is needed at this moment in time for you to be at your best for yourself. This week, I would say, take some time out to consider what healing actually means to you and where that healing can actually be done. All right, this is a really it's going to be a week where you're needing to be really gentle on yourself, with yourself, but also a week where you're having to really have patience and clarity, and more importantly, to have everything around you be in harmony with you. And whatever isn't, right, remove it. That's how it works. When it comes to, for those of you that are continued subbies, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. For your actions and options, you have the Earth Mother. In this deck, she's called the Earth Mother, but that is the Empress. And this is about the reminders for what it means to live a beautiful life, right? And you've got this with the Temperance card. Sometimes healing is about our environment. Sometimes the best way for us to heal is to change where we are, whether that means spring cleaning the home, moving halfway across the country, you know, going on a holiday. Like, all of those things this week are kind of coming up for you. The other thing with the Empress card, because this is about what you're doing, this is about you seeking the best experience or the most enhanced experience that you can possibly have. And what I feel for this is actually, this is a moment of real honesty about what your physical needs are. Do you need a hug? Do you need a good long soak in the tub? Do you need you know, a complete overhaul of your diet? Like, whatever it is, it's all the stuff on a physical level that you know is going to make you better, that you're having to really approach or, you know, or to look at or to change the elements of. For your communications and conversations, you have the Ace of Swords, and you've got this underneath the Temperance card. So for a select few of you, I will say, maybe for some of you, this could possibly be some form of surgery that needs to take place. You know, not to scare you, but it does suggest for some of you that you may need to look into a surgical path forward if you are on a healing journey. For others of you, this literally does look like you will be gaining new insight. So through your conversations this week, or maybe even for some of you through the decisions that you've already made, you now start to understand how those decisions are likely to be playing out. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academic program, this is a week for you to really put pen to paper. I would say this is a great week for channeling. So even if you're not necessarily into that sort of thing, or you know, you've never even heard of it before, put some music on that puts you into, you know, not like a party sort of mood, but like put some music on that you find really relaxes and chills you out. Pick up the pen and just allow yourself to write. Whatever flows out of you is the information that you will need. I kind of feel like this week, a lot of your the writing that you do has to be intuitive or channeled. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, one way that this might show up for you is you could be, your voice or your opinion could be either the deciding factor of how things move forward from here. It could also be that yours is the voice of reason in the maddening crowd. And I gotta say, like, usually Scorpios are not afraid to put a little fire or spice into things, right? They're really, really not. We know that about you. But this week, I kind of feel like you guys are going to be, you along with, and somebody else I said this to as well, your energy is going to be the anchor this week that keeps everything and everyone spinning. And it's important that you are anchored yourself, right? And you can only do that if you are really solidly, you know, in your being. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves in any capacity, the Ace of Swords can be a new contract, and this new contract is coming under the guise of the Temperance card. Is this new contract, this new client, this new way of working, is it more hassle than it's worth? Is it really giving you the results that you would hope? Is the rewards, the recompense, or the payback enough considering what you're putting into it? This is a week to get really, really clear on whatever offers or revenue streams are on the table. Is it giving me as much as I'm putting into it, or is it depleting me? This is the question that you're having to ask. For those of you that are, come on brain, retired and no longer working, this may actually, funnily enough, this may actually have something to do with the mind and or the memory. You know how they say, like, it's not just your mind that has memories, but your body as well? For some of you, and I touch on this very gently because it's not an area of expertise of mine. I'm not a therapist, a counselor, or anything like of the sort. But for some of you, this may be a week where your body is starting to remember a traumatic event. And so maybe, just maybe, this is a part of what you're processing out of you. Again, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor, I can't do that kind of work. But I wonder if this is a flesh memory, you know, more so than like a mind memory. I wonder if this is like and we've all got them, right? There's certain things that we smell, there's certain things that we hear, there's, you know, certain ways that we're touched that remind us of certain things in our lives. Sometimes those things that we're reminded of can be traumatic events for some people. And I wonder if for a select few of you, this is something that you're working out at a much deeper level. For your love and relations, you have the Justice card. So for those of you that are single, this is a very powerful week for love. And the reason I say this is because it looks like whoever you may be connecting with, you're doing it at a time where you are, I don't want to say not at your best, because that's not the case, but you're doing it at a time where it's kind of like, this is all of me. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the downright wonderful. What you see is literally what you get. For the most part, you guys tend to be like that. Actually, no, you don't. Scorpios do not wear it all on the sleeve, unlike some other signs. You know, you guys are definitely the, and I say this affectionately, but you guys are definitely the ogres of the zodiac, right? There's layers upon layers with a Scorpio. And I kind of feel like that's the case. Like, whoever you're connecting with this week, it's like it moves very, very quickly. And there might be instant attraction. There might be a really deep sense of longing or a deep sense of knowing. There might be a really profound understanding that seems to be unspoken this week. And I wonder if for a lot of you, this is kind of one of those moments where you're like, you know what? If this person can see me and care for me and love me the way that I am right now, then when they see me at my best, they are going to see, you know, everything that I really am. And that's wonderful. When it comes to those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this speaks to the marriage. And it looks like there are a lot of considerations and questions here. Not bad ones, just questions and considerations. You've got this Empress card here with the Justice card. Now, here's where this gets interesting. The Empress is Venus, right? Who rules Taurus and Libra. And then on top of that, you've got the standing stone in this deck, which is actually the Justice card. So this is a double hit of Libran energy. Plus you've got the Temperance card. There is a balance here. There is a rebalancing, a reshifting, a redistribution of power. Yours is the sign that rules power. On top of that, the Ace of Swords is what? At its base, it's a decision that is made. This is going to be a very powerful week across the board when it comes to relationships for all of you, whether you're single, whether you're partnered. For some of you, this could literally be engagement energy, where you're taking things to the next level. For some of you, for those of you that have been dating for a long time, for those of you in relationships, this could be a deciding point of where the relationship goes now. For those of you that are single, you could literally be meeting somebody that speaks to you and understands you at a very, very deep level. I want to say soul level, but I'm not talking soulmate, twin flame stuff here. I'm talking about real, grounded, practical. This person sees me, there's a connection, and you know what? We don't know what it's going to be, but I feel like I know this person. This is very, very profound stuff. For your money and materials, you have the Tower card. So when it comes to money and finances and resources, it does look like there's either, I don't want to say a hidden expense, because I don't feel like it is a hidden expense. I feel like it's a sudden expense. And because you've got this underneath the Ace of Swords, that tells me that you will have whatever you need financially to take care of this. So as quickly as it arises is as quickly as you'll be able to lay it to rest or to lay it to bed. It won't be a thing that continues on. When it comes to those of you that are partnered, this may be a realization about the pineapple, about the partner's finances. I'm so sorry, pineapple, about the partner's finances that you weren't aware of. All right, so this, just be mindful that that might be a thing. For those of you that are, in fact, for all of you, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, what is the Tower card is literally your nervous system. It is your any form of inflammation as well. Because you've got this underneath the Ace of Swords and with the Temperance card, this could also be a week where you gain answers really either very quickly or some sort of advancement happens very quickly. It's just going to be a on your unique situation, as they say. And then when it comes to your home and environment, that Tower card with the Ace of Swords, that's a change of home, and one that will come very, very quickly. And I wonder here how much more viable then, especially with the Empress here in the actions and options, how much more viable, how much more viable the place that you're living in actually is. This is going to be a very, very choppy week for you guys in that there is a lot taking place below the surface. Now that's Scorpios in general. However, some of this may be a little bit more tumultuous or a little bit more than even you can handle, which suggests it's a lot, right? With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. I send you so much love, energy, strength, and healing for whatever journey you may be on. If it's not too personal, please feel free to share in the comments. Failing that, I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next week.